Okay, we should be live by now. Hi, this is Shane Merst here. We're going to do a quick 0 to hero on texture atlasing in VRChat. And VRChat has texture atlasing being a default idea of good efficiency because we're trying to take multiple draw calls and breaking it down into one. And when you have a whole bunch of materials, you're gonna make everybody have a really nasty time. It's just not gonna be a fun time for anybody. So let's just do this. If you've been told to texture atlas, just texture atlas. That's really all I can say. So we're gonna open up an avatar. This looks like a good one. Let's find out if I'm right. Do 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 shadeless. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good one. Cool. Okay, let's do that. So I have this avatar, and we are going to just do some really basic things to it real fast. Fix model, separate materials, join the materials back up, and obviously, if you're a CATS user, you should have done all of this stuff by now, the model stuff, the translations, decimating it down to 20,000 tries. I have 66,000 here, and that's just because I am just showing you how this works. So I'm going to join all the meshes again, and you know all this stuff. Once this is joined, I'm going to go right down to optimization. We're going to get started. So like I was saying, texture atlasing is important because we're taking multiple materials which all require the GPU to do a single draw call on each one, and we're going to bring it down to one material, which means one material, one draw call, and everybody is happy. So before we start, you should be down to the optimization part, and this is where you would usually say atlas and create atlas, and it would create one texture atlas. But if it looks ugly as heck for some reason, we're going to do it manually. So let's go to material and click combine same materials. And this is going to bring, if we go to the materials tab, you might have hundreds of materials here. Pushing the combine same materials tab button will bring that all down to something usable. In this case, I'm down to 10 or 12 materials, which is still way too much. So let's actually get it working. So go to render. Let's hide the skeleton. Oops. Let's not hide the whole thing. Let's hide the skeleton. Right click on the skeleton, push H, then right click on your model. And we're going to go down to Texture Atlas. And down here in Texture Atlas, and if you don't have Texture Atlas, really simple, go to File, User Preferences, click on the Add-ons tab, type in Texture, and when you see UV Texture Atlas, check the box, push Save, and push Close. Now, then you'll have Texture Atlas down here under Render. So let's push plus. We're going to create a texture atlas. You can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it Doot. So, okay, now we have a Doot texture atlas. And now we're going to StartManualUnwrap. Now, what StartManualUnwrap did was, I'm going to click on the top right here and drag it out. What StartManualUnwrap did was, we're going to go to UV Image Editor, and we're going to click on this, and we're going to type in Doot, enter. What that did was, if you mouse over your model and push tab, is essentially it took all the stuff, all the textures, or all like the model, and it wrapped it down to a 2D plane so we can work on it. So this looks good to me. We're going to push Finish Manual Unwrap. And now if we push right click on our model again and push Edit Mode, we're going to see nothing, and that's fine. Go down to the bottom right and click Keep UV and Edit Mode Mesh Selection in Sync. Give that a click, and we should have all our stuff back. Perfect. Good, looking great. Let's go over to our object data. We should see UV map and we should see Doot. If you see those two things, excellent. You'll also see that we are the active map, quote unquote, is Doot. We don't want that to be the case. We want when we render the stuff onto this plane, we want to take it from UV map. So click on your little camera and set it to UV map. So that's just a left click on that little camera. And now we're looking good. All right, so next, let's go to the materials tab. And here are the materials that we have left. So select a material and push the select key. Boom. And this, everything we see here is on that material. So that's fantastic. Let's push G and move it off. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I'm not going to worry about it. And then push A to unselect it. And we're going to do that for each material. So G, drag it off. A. Next one, G, oops. If you push the wrong button, just Control Z to undo. G, drag it off. G, drag it off. G, drag it off. Oh, I just had a... I hope that very, very short brownout is not going to affect my live stream. That was very interesting. I've never seen that happen before. Just kidding. Brownouts are standard. Welcome to the world of technology. Select. Oh, it did it again. That's also very weird. Maybe we'll actually lose power. Exciting. This looks like panties. Sweet. Alright, select. Drag that off. Let me just make sure that my... Drag that off. Yep. And then finally the hair. Drag that off. Okay, so we have everything in pieces here, which is great. Oh, forgot another one. Drag that off. Okay. Am I still connected to the internet? Yes. Okay, good. So that shouldn't have affected us at all. Excellent. So now, if we were to push tab, we'll see that we have a nightmare. We have nightmare fuel right here. All sorts of weird crap going on. So we're going to push tab again, go back in here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take all of this stuff and put it onto this 2K, no, sorry, 1K texture. If you want it, if you don't think this is enough room, you can go up to 2K, and that's just by going back over to render and setting it to 2K instead. So start over from before we did this and set it to a 2K resolution. But we're going to do it in a 1K resolution because I think we can handle all of this stuff in a 1K resolution and still have good quality. Anyway, going back to what we were doing, go back to materials. And what we're going to do is effectively put the stuff back on. Just pile it all back on. So let's start with the things that I need. And the things that I need are the face. And essentially we're going to put all this back on in like a grid pattern. So let's just do that. So push G, bring it down. Obviously this is way too big for what we're trying to do. So push S to scale it down a bit. Probably this will be good. And bring it up here. A lot of this stuff can actually be smaller than what we have here. So let's set that up by pushing the B key and choosing the stuff that you think can be smaller, and then push S to scale it down, and then G to move it into place. There's so much stuff on here that I'm sure that a lot of this isn't even used. For example, I know this stuff isn't going to be used in mine. But you won't see this because you were smart and went through your hierarchy and deleted all the crap that you're not going to be using. But I didn't do that, so I'm just going to get rid of some stuff to make some room. Can I actually delete vertices? There we go. And we're going to just move stuff into place. B, G. Cool. And then and push A to unselect. You can also select things by using the cursor tool, which is C, G. Move that over. And the only thing that you're worried about is not accidentally placing it on top of other things. Because if you do that, then you're going to have a bad time. Things will be smeared and textures will be all over each other. It'll look really bad. So don't do that. Very simple thing to. And if you accidentally over choose, that's fine. Pull out the cursor tool, C, and middle click, and that'll get rid of the stuff any extra stuff that you might have accidentally highlighted. And when you're scaling down, just take a look at what you're doing, because this is all one color. This will be all one color. So I don't need this to be big at all. In fact, I can make it so it's practically microscopic and it'll still work out for me. So we're just going to stuff that up in the corner there. And we're going to choose the next thing. So essentially we're just going to do this for the next 3 minutes. Let me see what I'm looking at here. Shoes. I don't really give a about the shoes, so we're just going to shove that over in the corner. Shoes are one of my least concerns. No one's going to look at your shoes, and if they do, they're a fetishist. You don't even want to hang out with them, I'm pretty sure. I know a couple of shoe fetishists in my day. I can't even find this on my mesh, so essentially to me, it's inconsequential. So we'll just make it real small, stuff it up there. I'm sure this is some sort of lewd piece. Or not. This is actually the shirt. Shirt's kind of important to me. People will be looking at the shirt. We'll put it up here, but we'll scale it down just a little bit. All right, so now we're at the situation of let's see how we're looking. And to see how we're looking, we're going to go to render, and yeah, is this the render button? Yeah, this is the render button. And we're going to actually go down to bake, and we're going to choose bake the textures. And just a reminder, you need to have the Doot UV map selected because that's what we're working on right here. We're dragging around the Doot map, but we want to render it from the UV map. So that's how it's set up, and that's appropriate. So we're going to push bake, and I'm sure my computer is going to go maxed out on processor power, so I'm going to talk to you once this bake is done. Oh, okay, that was fast. Awesome. I mean, that works for me. So we're going to look at what we have here for results real quick. And, you know, you're not going to see anything over here, which is fine. But this is looking pretty good to me. We're going to have a little bit of blur there. It's not going to look 100% fantastic in that situation. So, oops. Looking at this, I might have wanted to use a 2K texture instead. But there you go. So, okay. So we're going to continue. So I don't know why I control Z'd. I don't think that's going to affect me negatively. Let's hope that's the case. Oh, it did affect me slightly negatively. It accidentally dragged this thingy off when this is what I wanted. So we're gonna put that back on there. G S. It doesn't matter if you mess up a little bit, and like what I just did was undo. You can just put it back on there. It'll re-render it. So I'm not concerned. This is important to me because it is on the top here and people are going to be looking at it. So let's not scale that down at all. Just shove it up there. We're going to do the next thing. This is unimportant. Boom. This stuff unimportant. Just shove it up there. I'm going to put all the unimportant stuff all together. So if I need to do anything with it, I will. What is this? The bottom of the shoes? Okay, yeah. Stuff that in there. Don't even matter. What happened to it? Oh, it's still there. I just can't see it. That's fine. Grab, oops. Okay, grab this. This is, I don't even know what this, oh, it might be the teeth. Scale them down. Doesn't matter. You can also rotate things by pushing R and give it a rotate. It doesn't matter the angle. It doesn't matter anything. Just the whole point is to get it onto a 2D plane, and that's exactly what we're doing. Clothes, sleeves clothes, people can look at them, but I don't think they need to be that high quality. Panties, no one's going to be looking at the panties. Scale these down to practically nothing. If anyone's looking at your panties, more power to them, I guess. Just throw this in here. It looks like something inside the head. Really don't care. Only time you would care about things inside the head is if you're doing like what do you call it? Those visemes. If you're doing animation visemes, like this is on the inside of the head. I don't care about these. Scaling them down, throwing them in there. Like I said, having this being a 2K texture probably would have been a better idea. This is all undershirt stuff. I'm just going to delete it because it's not going to affect me. This is overshirt stuff. This is kind of important. I'm going to put it in there just by scaling it down a little bit. We're just moving stuff. Skirt, not important. Skirt can deal with its own problems. What's this? Frills and stuff. Frills and stuff, I think that's kind of important. We're just going to put it up in there. See, we're just breaking this down one bit at a time here. Why is this all... Did I screw up? When I push that Control Z, I think I undid the majority of what I did. So I'm just going to keep doing this. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. Oops. That shouldn't be upside down, though. Undo. Scale it down. Just continue to throw stuff right in there. This you're not going to see. Totally unnecessary to have in here at all. So throw that in there. I don't even know what this is. It's in the inside of the head. eyeballs that I'm never going to use. Oop, missed a spot. Scale that down. Throw them in there somewhere. Repeat ad nauseum until complete. So let's just keep doing that. Important bits. The really important bits that you're going to want to work with is probably the head. So like the face. Face is super critical. It's like really super important that you get the face right. Because everyone's going to be looking at your face. That's the whole point, is people are going to be looking at your face. People are also going to be looking at your upper side of your clothes, your shirt. People will be looking at your hair, but not as much as your face. So we're going to scale down the hair a bit. The hair is mostly one color anyway, so it doesn't need to be anything important. Let's scale this stuff down. Unselect. Drag it in here. Boom. Drag this in here. Oops. Push G. Can't forget the G. Alright, we almost have everything in there. Unselect. I think this is skin. Is this skin? Yeah. Skin. This character has no tattoos, doesn't have anything special about her skin, so it's mostly the same color. So we're just going to kind of just jam it in there, and that should be everything. I think everything's here. Alright, next step, now that we have everything, I'm going to go render again. We're going to push textures again, and we're going to push bake. Gonna wait. Doot. Okay, everything's baked. Let's push tab. Take a look at everything. Cookie eyes, that's kind of cute. Got some weird stuff going on in here. Okay. Next step. Very simple step. You're gonna save. Very important. You're gonna go to save copy, and you're gonna call it whatever. Skirt girl. Baked test.blend. Save as Blender file. Alright. And next, we're going to go over to the Materials tab, and we're going to delete all these materials. So, delete. If you can't delete, it's because you're in edit mode. Watch. Can't delete now. So, make sure you go over and go back to object mode. Delete. And if for some reason you were having a problem dragging things, it's because you need to... You know what? I'm not even going to explain that. If someone has a question, I'll answer the question. So we pushed plus, and we created a new material. Awesome. Now we're going to go to textures, and we're going to push new, and it's going to make a new texture. And now we need to open an image, but we haven't saved this image yet. This image needs to be saved. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to image, and we're going to go to save as image, and we're going to call it doot.png, and we're going to remember where we saved it. In this case, I'm going to save it to green-haired, and push save. Alright, and now we're going to open that image. So open, green-haired, doot. There we are, doot. And we have a black character at the moment, and if I were to go to UV maps, remove doot, and only have UV map, let's just make sure, yep, material is correct, texture is correct, and we push open this, and we go to shadeless, we should have a fully UV'd character, and the answer is no. The answer is no. And the answer is no because I deleted the wrong thing. So go to UV map and push delete. I just undid that. So now we have doot, which is correct, and if you're smart, you will double click on doot and type in UV map. And we will show shadeless again, and it is now gray because it deleted my texture. So we're just going to go back to material 001, yep, good, texture, open, green-haired, doot, and there she is. Why does it not look very good, you may ask? And the answer is because I was not using a 2K texture when I should have. If you look here, we will see that, oh, actually, you know what the problem is? I did not drag some of my textures in like I should have. Oh, actually, you know what it is? I deleted some of the textures that I should have. When I was in here deleting things, I deleted the wrong thing. So make sure you delete all the stuff that you wanted to delete before you do this. But it looks 99% to me, if we zoom in, you'll see that all of the textures appear to be looking good except for the gray ones. Pretty decent quality, look good in VR. Hair is pretty decent quality, it look good in VR. Eyes look fantastic, they look great in VR. Face looks really good, it'll look fine in VR. This is from a 1K texture, so don't worry too hard about doing 2K textures. Just stick it to a 1K texture, do exactly what I did. Don't delete things that you don't know what they are, because if you are deleting things you don't know what they are, that you'll get this. So make sure you're deleting them beforehand when you're working on your decimation and deleting materials that you don't need first. So boom, there you go. Doesn't look fantastic. That's because I made a very rookie mistake, but I was using a model that I did not prepare properly before I did it. So if you do it, it'll look fine. There you go. Oh, boom. 0 to hero, kind of, whatever. Um, there you go. This is Shane Merst here signing off, and good luck. How do I quit? Oh, yeah.